That friend said, yeah, you can go and do voluntary work. You can even get a house. I say, what are you talking about? Get a house?
Our guest is Mr. Emmanuel Enow. He is a licensed financial professional and also an executive director with Experio Financial Group. He is so passionate about helping families to understand some specific strategies that can help them get ahead with retirement planning. So you are welcome, Mr. Emmanuel.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, Mr. Emmanuel. Which part of the African continent do you come from?
Yeah, I'm from Cameroon.
So, Mr. Emmanuel, what was your biggest financial challenge when you first arrived in the US, and what specific steps did you take to overcome these challenges?
I will start by saying that what you are doing, what you both are doing, it's really important. It's going to help a lot of people. Hopefully, this channel is going to, be extended for people to, I'm looking more of people coming here from different parts of the world, especially Africa, to understand that what they see on TV, on social media and the rest is different from when they get into it. I remember when we came here, the person who received us said, by the time you get into this country, it's going to wrap you. I remember he made his hand like this, so it's going to wrap you. That's always sticks in my mind. So it's later on that I started understanding what he was saying. So talking about the question which you asked, the most significant financial challenge, most of us who came from Africa, we have I would say, a long tail. We have a bunch of people looking up to us for assistance. So when we came here, our plan was to help as many people in the family and friends as possible. But we came and discovered that it was not that like a smooth ride. You need to first of all build your foundation here. Then you can now start looking at those people out there. So when I came here, my first thing which I had in mind was, to have a house and a stable income and a car. Because here in Alabama, where we are, it's not like other states. There are some states where you have, transport systems, which are very, very, very good. You have the rails, you have buses going around. But here, you need to have a car. So I said, the first thing I need to do is to find a car and find a house. Well, we were lucky that we fell into Habitat for Humanity. That's an NGO here that helped us. We got information that they construct houses for people. So maybe we can talk about that some other time. Maybe somebody may ask people that, hey, I learned about that. I'm always happy to share that information with people because I'm living in a Habitat home. Some people will be like, oh, Habitat homes are not nice. Trust me, you get into it, you'll be like, I need one of these. So that is what solved my financial problem, because that question is very important, a significant financial challenge. I needed to have a home for my family and a car to be driving. So that solved that problem of having a home. Then the car came on its own because, as you walk, you save some little and you can get a car.
That's interesting to know. I know that when I first came to, I worked with a treat store that belonged to Habitat for Humanity too. But it would be interesting to know, like, the kind of assistance do they provide the homes? Is it specifically for immigrants to own the homes, or how does it work?
Well, if you want us to continue on that light, the thrift store which you work in, there's a very nice and organized program. Trust me, I'm going to talk a little bit more because my first financial education is through that program that I got it. So the thrift store, I also work in one of those thrift stores, but I work there as a volunteer.
Yes.
Because the program is that for you to own a home, you need to volunteer. There's what we call the 350 sweat hours. So you go and do the work there. You go, you sign in, you sign out, they put those hours together. It needs to be 350. So 250, anybody can help you to do those 250. But the 100 must be done by you and your spouse, 50 hours. So because of that program, there are certain things in the house which I don't need to call a handyman to come and do it. The tiles in the floor tiling, the roof, the cupboards, when they were doing all of that, I was there. So they showed us how to do it. So if
Okay.
you have anything that goes bad with your house, you can just go get the materials and come and do it yourself. You know,
Interesting.
it's a great program. They taught us on, how to, I can walk out of this house in the middle of the night with no light and fire. I know what to do. The children know what to do because they train us on that. Financial education, which is what we are talking about. I'm also going to talk a little bit about that. So the program is really nice. I think I have about 4 families that have gotten into their own houses, some in Maryland. If somebody is coming in and I know, I say, hey, find habitat around you, go there and ask what is the specifics of your area. Trust me.
This is actually wonderful information you are sharing, because that's the whole purpose, to help our people as they come in here and to be able to settle in as seamlessly as possible and to know certain things. I mean, what you're saying now, even though she volunteered with them briefly, I don't think we ever got to know.
I didn't know much about it.
About what you're even saying now.
I was just looking for something to do, like volunteering for a while, and I just went there and they took me. I didn't even last long because I didn't even know much about like having this program and all that. So it's a good thing for our viewers to know. If you're just coming in and you need something like this, then this will be a good opportunity for you.
Yeah, trust me. I don't want to tell you how much is the mortgage. You guys are going to shout like it's like we'll talk about that offline. But trust me, that's one of the best thing that happened to us when we just came. Then there are other, I want to call them blessings that happen. And sometimes I always say closed mouths don't make money, or closed mouths. I was just with a friend. How did this all start? I just told that friend that, hey, I learned that here in the United States, for you to get, if you apply for a job, they're always interested in seeing that you have done some voluntary work. That friend said, yeah, you can go to Habitat and do voluntary work. You can even get a house. I say, what are you talking about, get a house? I'm like, what is the name of the place? He gave me the name. I just went to Google and looked for the address. I came back home that evening. I told my wife. The next day was Thursday. We were there. They say, hey, you guys came at a very good time, because Friday was the last meeting for the year. That was in December. We came here January. Yeah, so it was December of that year, that same year that we came, that we got that information, and 6 months to 8 months after, we're in the house. In fact, I'm sitting in the house as we speak.
Wow, that's wonderful. You see, those are some of the things we never knew about, and that's why they say ignorance is a disease,
Yeah, and I think you may have gone to maybe their office or something, because I just went straight to the thrift store looking for, a volunteering opportunity. So of course it was just like, okay, fill the paper and I come in. So it wasn't that I was given this kind of information to know that, okay, maybe I need to do certain hours and I will get a house or anything like that. But I just went straight to the thrift store. So you must have gone to their main office and maybe gotten all this information.
Yes, so however you look at it, I would just simply say you were not lucky to get, because I went to the main head office, right? But the program, part of it, like I talk of sweat hours, you need to go and work at a thrift store.
Yes.
And at the thrift store, there is a form. When you come in, you sign that form, you sign the time that you came in. So maybe when you were there was nobody doing voluntary work around, getting a house at that time, because the person must have said something. We go there, we sweep the place, we dust the chairs. If somebody comes to buy an item, we help, you tell them the price. If they want particular price, we go and see a manager. If he ends up buying that item, we help the person to put it in his car. So those are the things we do, those little things, and at the end of it. So it was just unfortunate that when you were there was really nobody. It's like I've sent a series of persons in different areas of the United States. I say, just go online and Google Habitat for Humanity near me. Yeah, as time goes on, the conditions also change. When we came in, the Habitat has been there for, what they told us was that it has been there for more than 15 years. People always think of, even people, not only Africans, people here also think that thing is a scam. They cannot be anything like that. So when we went there were really few people coming in for the program. Like in a year, you can get like 3 people in 1 year. But after we came in, the next years, like I sent a series of people there. Trust me, this is the craziest part. This is the craziest part. I came to my Cameroon meeting, because we have a Cameroon meeting here. I told the team, everybody, I say, hey, this is something which I've learned. Go check for yourself, and trust me, nobody went. I mean, nobody. It's when they came, they were giving us the key to the house. Then I told them again that program I told you about, we are getting into that house.
Wow.
It's about 5 of them came to really see that this is real. This is real. Then when we had a meeting, when I was doing the housewarming, they're like, man, this is, I don't want to tell you guys the mortgage and why you read. It's interest free again. That's what you should know. It's interest free. So
wow. That's this is, I mean, these are powerful nuggets you are sharing here and now. Listeners here, this is very powerful nuggets that he's sharing with you. Take note, take note, take note. Particularly if you are new in this country and you haven't stayed developed deep roots yet. This is something you could run with.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing that. We will create a time to explore that a little bit more.
Sure. And well, the viewers, if they want to meet, get back to you to ask questions on it, you guys will be giving them, we'll have the conversation, that you get all of the information that you can.
We certainly will take you up on that.
They do online, they can get a lot of information about how to
Yes.
Can you share with us the first financial mistake you made when you came here and what you learned from it?
You see, there is something which happened, which every day when I think about it, I'm like, oh man, I would have been a billionaire by now. So when we came here, again, when I'm working with colleagues, I always, bring small, small talks, small discussions about. So we used to do stocks. I came here and learned about stocks, and so I try to read about it. I always go and read, because I don't just, So I had this friend who always tell me about crypto. He said, do I know about cryptocurrencies? I say, yeah, I've heard about it, but I'm not really, After about a week, he told me that, oh, the crypto now is $350. Me and $350 in the United States, that's too big money for me to go and be putting in something I don't know. The next about 2 months after, I said, oh, that crypto has gone up to $500.
Wow.
I still did not take it seriously. Then boom, 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 boom. You know how much it went to, right? 65,000.
Are you kidding me?
Man, cryptocurrency, one crypto went up to $65,000. That's like four years back. Wow. It has come down now. It is somewhere still a lot of money. I've not looked at it. Like every day I'm giving myself punches that this is a big, big, big mistake. Trust me, if I had just taken $1,000 and bought 3 crypto, that would have been $65,000 times 3.
Times 3, wow.
People made millions, billions from crypto. So that was one of the big mistakes which I made. I'm like, oh no. So now the lesson learned is that anytime I hear of a new investment kind of stuff, I tell myself, you know what? Look for $1,000 or a $2,000 or a $500. Just look for some amount of money and put it there. If it explodes, fine. If it doesn't explode, no problem. At least you did something. That's why they talk of FOMO. If you guys have heard of FOMO, fear of missing out. So I don't want to miss again. If I hear anybody tells me, I look for something. There's even about 2 or 3 weeks, some people told me, I'm not hearing anything about them again. So but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you relate that with what people say that, oh, it's not good for you to go into anything you don't understand, like investing, putting your money into things you don't really know much about, that is safer not to. So what would be your take on that with this crypto thing, since you did not know much about it?
Okay, I'll say this. If somebody calls me, this is it's true that this is going to be online. You know, what I prefer, like what I said earlier, is that I don't want to miss out. I have not understood much. I'll do the investment of the amount that I'm not worried if I lose it.
Yes.
That is it. Instead of saying, oh no, well, that thing I don't know it. The mistake I made from crypto, I didn't know about it, but somebody was telling me that, hey, this thing is going to go up. It's, you know, I would have been like, okay, how much is one is how much? $300. Okay, this is $600. Let's put it there and see what it gives. If it goes up, good for me. If it goes down, I lose. I know that that is gone.
Yes.
So that is the lesson learned. I don't need to know too much about it. After all, I'm just putting a small amount of money in it, and if it goes away, it goes away. If I win, I win. I lose, I lose. That's it. There you have a calm mind. Instead of not like I'm talking of the crypto. Oh my goodness, it went to $65,000.
That's crazy.
Crypto. If you go and look at the history, when it started really a long time ago. But guess what? It went up to, is that kind of stuff that you buy? So there are some people buy stocks, they buy and keep. They forget about it. Let it be there. Anything that's happening, I don't care about it. You can go there after 1 year and take a look. Oh, okay, well, no problem. You go another 1 year. So that's how the crypto, it crept up to 65,000.
That's why it's crypto. It creeps up on you, right?
So that's it.
Well,
That's a mistake which I don't want to make any longer.
yeah, that's a sound advice, folks. You've heard that. It's almost like what is said when somebody comes to borrow money from you. Always give. That's the lesson I learned over my life. That always give what you can forget, what you can say. If the person doesn't repay, I know that it's gone. It won't hurt me. It won't hurt me. So if somebody comes and says, hey, lend me $10,000, and I say, hey, you know what I have is $1,000. And if I know that if that $1,000 comes back, I'm fine. If it doesn't come back, I'm not worried. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry, nothing. Because I got burnt a lot back home before coming here. So those are some, I think that's part of what you're saying with this type of
money from you.
investment.
I'll come and get money
just
from
put
you.
it and, if it comes back, fine. If it doesn't come back, you don't cry. So that's a good one. Now, how did you go about finding reliable information and resources to help you manage your finances being in a new country?
I'm somebody who reads a lot. When I see anything, finance, investment, I want to go know a little bit more. So I used to watch TV sometimes. You know, when you just come here, you have a little bit of time in your hand. So I saw these two people, Susie Oman and Dave Ramsey. They were giving financial information, financial education. They would talk about books. I will ask the person I was living with, how can I get this book? We'll go online and buy it. And I read those books and I saw that they were making a lot of sense. They gave, different financial portfolios that you can have. They talk of Roth IRA, they talk of traditional IRA, 401k, and all of those investments. So I took my time to read about them. And what I was trying to look for particularly is which one is best for me. I'll look at get the literature, I get the pros and I get the cons. Thank goodness there's internet where you can go there and do Google search and you get a lot of information about the different products. So that's how I understood that Roth IRA was one of the best to me at that time. Because when I look at 401k, it has its good, it has its bad. I look at traditional 401k, but when I look at Roth IRA, I'm like, okay, this is tax-free. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. So that's how I kind of got some good information, in terms of financial planning, to be able to do what is going to help me and my family at the end of the day. And again, I had friends who always say, oh, you need to be keeping something aside because this place is not like Africa, where if things are rough, you can call your sister, your brother, your aunt, and they come and stay with you. They come and cook food and give you. And so here you have to fight for yourself. You have to create a solid foundation so that if anything happens, you have a backup, like a real backup, not any kind of begging backup. Yeah.
Interesting, because part of what you're saying is really very helpful, because we are seeing the fact that you have to employ these different strategies, and you are fortunate you had people who could counsel you and tell you certain things. So, because some people come into this country, they are all by themselves and they don't have anyone to counsel them or even to fall back on for sound advice. And so at times they fall into the wrong hands or the wrong counsel, and they find themselves in trouble. So this is quite helpful. So if you have anybody there, you have people you can tap on, call upon, please utilize the resources you have. It's not a shameful thing. We're in a foreign land, literally speaking, until we become assimilated. So you want to utilize all the resources you have to be able to find yourself where you want to go.
All
Correct.
right.
Let me add this real quick. You said something which is really important. One needs to be lucky to have somebody who want to give you those information. Trust me, there are some people, it's really unfortunate, like all over the world, but I'm looking more now at Africans. There are people here who have the right information to give you to move you to the next level. But some of them will say, oh, I suffered. He cannot just come, or she cannot just come and succeed like that. No, you also have to suffer.
Unfortunately, yes.
You have to pass through this road. I have this information I'm not going to give you. It's unfortunate, like really, really unfortunate. Because what I've understood is that 98% of Africans who come here succeed. Whether the road goes difficult, like to what extent, at the end of the day, they are going to make it. So you simply just want to be part of their success. You don't want to be one of those people whom they will sit and say, oh, this is a man who made me to struggle. And, this. You want to be like, oh, this person gave me a lift. This person, did this to me, for me. And yeah, so people need to be lucky to fall in the right hands who will take them to the next level. I'm good. I think maybe one of your questions is going to fall around what I'm saying, because somebody really helped us here. Yeah.
Yes.
That's really great, because what you're saying is really, really very helpful. In fact, somebody once told us that, hey, we've paid our dues here, so you have to pay your own dues too. Because according to that person, we came to America on a platter of gold. So we didn't go through what they went through. So now you got to pay your dues, when the gold was no longer available. So I get what you're saying. It's unfortunate that people shouldn't have that mindset. And we've had somebody who we tried to talk to about something to help out the children and the grandchildren. And she was like, no, well, they have to pay their dues.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to spoil any child. And I'm not going to do that for any child. Let them pay their own dues as I paid mine. And we are like, okay, that's interesting. But yes.
Yes, and it's because of that we also have this channel, because we're so passionate to reach out to some of our own people, our own community, to help, because we know that there are people like that come here and they don't know where to turn to get the appropriate information that is necessary for them to integrate into the new society they find themselves in. So now, moving on, we know that having credit history is very important in America here. So if you can share with us the strategies you use to acquire, to build your credit history, and why is it important?
All right, thank you. That is one of the things that got us to qualify for this house I'm talking about, the credit history thing.
Okay.
Well, like I said earlier, we were lucky that when we came, you see, we had the information. I had read a little bit about it, so I was now asking questions. Oh, hey, I learned about this credit history thing. Oh, don't you have an account? Have you opened? Do you have a checking account? Do you have a saving? Do you have a card? I'm like, no, I don't have any of that. What are you doing now? What are you doing tomorrow? So this guy came to the house and we're having this conversation. He said, what are you doing now? I'm like, I'm free. He said, let's go. He took me to one of the financial institutions where we are, and he opened an account. So we got two cards. We got a debit card and a credit card. He said the credit card is going to help me to build my credit. I'm going to give, I think I gave $250. So the bank took it, and that's the money that I was, using. I'll use them, pay back.
Secured credit.
Yes.
That's it. So that was a secured credit that they gave me. I was really not very conversant. I really did not understand what was going on, but I knew that I'm one of those people who runs away. I shy away from debts and credit and those kind of things. Loans, no, it's not part of me. But as I read,
I think that's an immigrant mentality. Many of us are just not used to it.
yeah, as I read more, I came to understand that, hey, these things, you need to, mingle around them to get certain. So that's how I was lucky. As time goes on, I was building that credit. So one day, a friend was about buying a car. He came and made me that I should co-sign. I said, what do you mean by co-sign? I've not made any. So he explained to me. I said, okay. Well, we now went to the bank. They ran my credit. I had 820. That man was like, you have a very good credit, So interestingly, the bank man called me at the side that, do you really know this person? I said, yeah, he's a friend. I said, why do you ask? He said, because this thing has caused trouble between friends, families, and all of that. He said, do you really know what you are getting into? I said, explain to me. Maybe I am missing something. He says, if this person refuses to, cannot pay that car for any reason, it comes on me.
Yes.
I'm like, is that it? So after that conversation, I came back and told that friend that, well, let's come back and do this thing tomorrow. The bank managers, the person was receiving us, the bank rep said, well, you guys can go talk and come back because I don't want you guys to have any situations within you. So this is to tell whoever is coming in to the United States that you don't just get up and go and co-sign somebody for whatever. You want to be really, really careful, because if anything happens along the line and that person cannot pay, it falls back on you. And it goes now to, we start talking about causing trouble to your credit score and all of, because trust me, by the time we're getting the house, they ran our credit. So not going too far away, that is how I was lucky to know how to build my credit. And trust me, today my credit is more than 800.
You've talked about credit, which we've always emphasized is absolutely important to maintain a good credit, to be able to move forward and get facilities at good interest rates when your credit is good. Now, how do you balance supporting family back home while managing your expenses here in the US? From the outset, you said, when we come here, we come with a long tail, So how do you balance that?
That is a tough one. Anyways, again, like maybe I'm just generally lucky. I just always have a calm mind. I don't see any fire catching. The only time that I can get really worried and broken if somebody dies. If not dead, if any other thing, I know, I tell myself it's going to get done, it's going to get fixed. So talking about family and, there are a bunch of people behind us. I'm looking at, when I say us, my wife and I, that I'm looking at family, I'm looking at friends. So the good news is that all of these people, they are so appreciative. If you give somebody a $10, $100, $1,000, they are so happy about it. Because I see some families here, I have some friends here, you go visit them, sometimes they sit as if the well has fallen on their heads. When you ask what is going on, oh, is it not this person asking me for this? I say, I don't get it. You are working the money and somebody in Africa is putting you pressure to send the money to them. No, it's you who has to decide when and how much you want to send. If you don't have it, you don't have it. If you have it, you have it. So my family or our families, they're always appreciative whatever we send. They are thankful and no pressure, and that's it. Maybe I don't know that the negative side is that it's making us to over relax instead of going to look for those big dollars. I don't know, but trust me, we've really not had pressure. I'm not saying that they don't need money. Everybody needs money. Like if you have 1 million today, you are looking for 2. You want to have 2 today, you are looking for 3. So that's how we balance it. What we make, there are particular things that we must pay over there for different people. We always make that list. I'm trying to look around. Like I always have a small list standing in front of me for this. So again, the good news is that there's no time that we are not able to pay the necessities, the things that have to be paid. We get them done, and if there's any which is a little bit not able to be done this week or these 2 weeks, it's okay, let's see how the next 2 weeks is going to be, and we'll get it done.
That's great, because a lot of people come here and really they have a lot of baggage back home, and like you rightly said about that person, they allow themselves to be put under this immense pressure that life becomes miserable for them here. It becomes what we'll say back home: monkey they walk, baboon they chop.
For new immigrants, what advice will you give to them about savings and investing here in the US?
Okay, there is this problem, most like we already said here, that people from Africa always have that mindset that, oh, this is a scam. They want to scam me. There's nothing like this. And so what I'll say to anybody who is, who just came into the United States from Africa, listen, when I say this, it's also funny because they say if you listen to a scammer, that's when they can get you. So don't just listen to scammer. So maybe I'm going to put I don't know, there is a Holy Spirit in between you and the person who is talking to you, so that the person gives you the good information. But you want to listen and be alert, because trust me, there are good information out there, sorry. When you tell me something, I don't take it and throw it away. Like the case of the Habitat for Humanity. When this guy told me, I went home that evening, I told my wife, we went online, we searched, we read about the company, then the next day we went there. Because once they tell you something, you put that barrier, oh, this is scam. You are losing. You know what we are doing, we tell people about what can make their life better in this country. Imagine, they are like, oh, what do you know? This one has been here, you just came in. What? No, go and listen and go do your own research. Somebody said trust, but verify. I trust you that what you are saying is true. Go do your own research. Come back and ask questions. You must not take it from, you must not do what that person is saying. But if you go see that what this person is saying is making sense, it's going to take you to the next level, why not? Why not do it? So always go listen. If you hear that there's a financial education seminar somewhere and you have time, go and listen. The good thing again is that there's a lot of information online, like a lot. So go do your own research, listen to friends, go to seminars, then you can now take a solid decision. You can start small. Then if you see that it's making sense, you can increase. Yeah, that's it. Don't just stay back and say, no, this thing is a lie. Oh, this is a scam. what are your sources of information to tell you that it's a scam? That's what somebody said. What did you do yourself to get the correct information? Nothing. So yeah, that's what I would say for that question.
Trust, but verify. So don't just dismiss, because by so doing you could lose out big time. At least take a look into it. Don't just say, oh, this is a scam, because you come from a place where there are a lot of scams and you think everything is scam. No. Verify, look into it, verify it, and then proceed, rather than just be dismissive. Okay, moving on here. Can you share any cultural differences in financial practices that you had to adapt to when you moved to the US, from how it was or is in Africa and when you moved here?
Well, we are in I would say, the most powerful country in the world. There's more confidence in financial institutions here. In Africa, you can go to the bank one morning and the banker tells you that, oh, there's no money today. Hold on a little bit, let some people come and put in, then we'll take and give you. It's just normal over there. Well, that is impossible. It's true, they will not tell you that directly, but they will find a way of keeping you. And I have a lot of friends who work in banks, and I also did some internships in banks. So, but over here, if you put your money in a bank, whatever happens, when you go there, they are giving you your money. Now, when I came here, I heard about insurance. That's what Dave Ramsey did not tell me, because we did all of the different portfolios. But that particular one, life insurance, I didn't hear much about it from him. But when I learned that you can grow money in a policy, you guys told me earlier that you are going to talk about this in another episode, but I just want to say something which has to do with that question. This issue of using life insurance to grow money, credit unions in Cameroon do that. Yes, that's where I learned about it first. Because I remember I had a credit union account. I went there to withdraw some money. The bank manager said, but why are you withdrawing your money? Why don't you take a loan? Loan? That LOL? No, I don't like loans. When I told him that, no, I don't want to take any loan. I just want to take money. He said, no. He explained it to me. That's exactly how this insurance works. So they give you their money and they keep yours to continue to work for you. Wow. So when I came here, I learned about insurance and I read about it. I'm like, oh, this is just the same thing which I learned over there. So some of those things happening in Africa, in Cameroon, in this financial institution are also happening here. So that's a tradition which is like universal. Okay, but now that part of confidence for you to put your money in a bank, that you go there, you get that money back, is another thing which is highly appreciated over here.
It's interesting for you saying that you have something similar in Cameroon, because I don't think I've not heard of that for Nigeria. It's possible. I'm not sure, even people that I've talked to recently about life insurance, they are not aware of any that has this component that you can take a loan out of your life insurance policy and your money is still.
No, it is in Nigeria.
For you.
It is. Yeah, because I remember my mother, when I was going to university, yes, she had this insurance with, I think it was with British American Insurance Company, and that's where she went and got money from for me to be able to go to college. When I went to college the first time, and it wasn't, it didn't close down the account. So yeah, I remember that. So, but probably we did not understand it fully in the context in which we understand it today. But I think things like that when exist, and our people are usually just suspicious of the word insurance. When once they hear life insurance, oh no, you want to kill me? You want me to die? So people don't like generally hearing it because they are misinformed about what life insurance truly is all about, and that's why they don't usually. Yes, we are going to come to that, but for now, you have one more question you want to ask him?
So last question. It has been nice having you here. So the last question we have is, what are your thoughts about platforms like ours, that is Cash Talk, that we focus on financial conversations for immigrants? How do you think this can make a difference in the lives of immigrants here in the US?
Well, I will say that it's a very good idea because trust me, having financial education is one of the key things that everybody needs to know. We have been here for a while. You go around, I'm looking at people who were born here, they walk throughout their life because of a miss. You know, they didn't have this information on how to plan financially for tomorrow. Some of them will tell you that, oh, they are like 40 years. They say, oh, in 2 years, I'm going on retirement. There is no way you go on retirement where you have not been saving some money and it's growing, not in the bank. It's growing at a different rate. I'm here looking at compound interest. So there is no way somebody will be retiring at 42 when some money has not been kept somewhere by he himself or somebody on his behalf. That's it. So if you don't have that information, it becomes a problem. So what I just want you to, maybe when you are talking, you may want to add this inside a bit. The main point of concentration is immigrant, African immigrant. But trust me, not only African immigrants are having these troubles. People were born here. I've talked to people who are 70, 80. Like, where did you learn all of this? I've never heard about this, you know? So people who are going to be watching and listening to this, the immigrants, yes, but somebody else can fall on it on this channel and be like, oh, I didn't know of all of this, you know? So it's going to help everybody who listens to it, who had no knowledge about what we are talking about here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that piece of advice and counsel. And the reality is that it's actually targeted at everybody, just that we have a niche which is the African immigrants. But it's a program that will be beneficial to everybody. And like you rightly said, there are people that we already shared this with who are not African immigrants. And they've looked at it and they're like, wow, these are nuggets that they never knew, even though, like you said, they were born and bred in this country, but they never knew about it. So it's actually for everybody out there too. So it was a pleasure having you. And we thank you very much for gracing our this channel and talking with the folks here. Do we want to ask you, do you have any final thoughts just before we round up?
How people can reach you if they want to get in touch with you?
Well, I would say you guys should keep it up. It's a really good idea. And reaching out to me, sometimes it's good for them to pass through you, then they get to me. Preferably, they can reach out to you guys, then you guys can always reach out to me. But if they want to, know more about me, my name is there on the, on the screen. They can always use that name and go to Experior Financial Group website. They are going to see me there. And, but contacting me, I think the best way to do it is to get through you people.